So we just triangulated the cost to acquire customers, gross profit and payback period. That is what creates client finest acquisition. And I want to unleash the 3 levels of advertising. This is also not in the book for you. All right. So client finest acquisition, or CFA, the 3 levels of advertising. So this is how I would describe 3 levels of advertising for you as a business owner. So let's start with level 1. This is where lifetime gross profit is greater than the cost to acquire customer. This is the duh level. All right. So you've got to make more money than it costs you to make it over the lifespan of the customer. Ideally, at least 3 times more. So what it costs you to make the money, how much money you make. Fundamentally, that's it. If you don't have that, then you don't have a business. So you need at least this to be a business that can make money and grow. So level 2 is 30-day gross profit, not lifetime. Notice the big difference here is the time difference. This is forever, and this is the first month, all right, is greater than CAC. I'll explain why the first month is so important in a second. All right, so we want to make more money than it costs you to make it in 30 days. And so the result, this is the key part, is that you never spend your own money to grow. And so why is 30 days the number? Because that's the amount of time that any business can borrow money with zero interest in the form of a credit card or credit lines. Many businesses, banks will even give you interest-free credit lines for 30, sometimes 60, sometimes 90 days, depending on, your relationship with the bank, how much money it is, whatever. But at least every business can get 30-day interest-free money. And so that means that the way the financial system exists right now, at least in America, you can get money and not pay for it as long as you pay it back in a month, which means that my objective for you, because I've always operated on, I've owned everything and I haven't sold equity and I haven't taken on debt to grow all my businesses, and I've been able to grow them absurdly fast relative to the marketplace. I'll just say it like that. And the way that we've been able to do it is because I take the money that I have access to, and I can take as much as I possibly can as long as I figure out a way to pay it back in that first month. All right. And so you can use the credit card to get your customers, then pay the card back, then reuse the money, recycle the cash, and get another customer. All right. And as long as your gross profit in the first 30 days is greater than the cost to get them, you can never carry debt while growing your business, which is a sizable advantage. So this is what level 2 advertising would look like. So 30 days gross profit. So that means that, like, if I got that first customer, right, if it cost me 160 to get the customer and I got 180 back in gross profit, then it's just all free. It's just all free. That's how it works. And so note is that if you have an XXX limit on your credit card, you'll always be limited by the amount of customers that XXX number buys you before having to pay it back. And so this assumes that you don't reinvest the excess profits after the 30 days on marketing rather than putting it in your pocket. Okay. So once you unlock acquisition this way, typically you will get limited by your operational constraints before you will get limited by your advertising constraints. You will not be able to handle the amount of customers that you can bring in, and that's what's going to throttle down your advertising more than you can't get more customers. So that's level 2, is that now your 30-day gross profit is greater than your CAC, which means you're just getting free customers now. Level 3 is where I like to live, which is that my 30-day gross profit is greater than 2 times the cost of getting a customer. Okay? So pay attention to what happens here. So you make gross profit more than twice CAC in the first 30 days. And the result is never being limited by money at all. Remember, the first version of this is like, I'm limited by the amount of credit card that I can have access to. With this, there are no limits. And this is the goal of everything that I'm going to basically go through the rest of this training with you. All right. And so this way, one customer pays you back for the debt you have, but then also pays for the next customer. So you basically just repay your original spend one time, and then you have enough money to buy another customer. And then that customer comes again with 2 customers preloaded into it. And so then you pay itself back and then the next one. And then that is how you continue to multiply. And now you're using house money, to use a gambling term. It's like you've already repaid yourself back on the first one, but you still have this extra cash. You buy the next guy, he comes with 2. And now you're just doubling. And the thing is you're doubling your rate of acquisition by customer, not by month, which means this can happen daily in terms of the doubling. All right. And this is the key to unlimited scale for advertising. You have to compound your advertising. And so this is what it would look like if you just reinvested on a 30-day loop instead of a daily loop. This is to say, like, you buy, you get them in today and you have 2 or 3 upsells, whatever it is, within 30 days, and you get twice the cash back in that 30-day period. Well, I got 1 customer this month using that cash, and next month I've got 2, next month 4, next month 8 or whatever it is. Yeah, I think that's 8. Yes, 8. And the next one's 16. It would be, all the way up there. All right, more than I can visually display. And so this is what it actually looks like math-wise. All right, so I think I removed this from the book too. But within a year of reinvesting your advertising profit, this is a key point, is if you have to reinvest the advertising profits to getting new customers, the advertising is obviously no longer a bottleneck in your business. And this is what this book accomplishes, removing money as a limit for your growth. And so that's why I write this, because for every person, it's like, I need money to make money. You need to have more skills. Somebody who has fewer skills needs more money. So look at the math here. Month 1 to month 12, 1 customer, 2 customers, 4, 8, 12. This is just a 2 multiplied out. And then here's where it gets wild. This is new customers per month. This is total customers. So I'm ending the year with 4,000 customers. If you just make twice what it cost you to acquire a customer in gross profit in the first 30 days, and you reinvested all of that into getting more customers. And so you can end the year at 4,000 plus existing customers with that framework. By the way, this is exactly what we're doing with school.com. This is how we're going crazy growth right now. So make gross profit more than twice CAC within 30 days. This is where we want to go. And to be clear, to achieve this level of advertising, 2x is the minimum. You can by all means get 3x, 5x, 10x. You can get 10 customers loaded with every customer. And the money just multiplies faster. All right. And so I'll tell you this brief story, but if you want to know what my return was for Gym Launch in the first year, I had a 100 to 1 return in advertising. Yes, 100 times. And so I spent 100 grand and made 10 million. The limit to that business then and now was market size and our operational capacity to scale service, not our ability to profitably acquire customers. And that's what I want for you. And that's what this book accomplishes. And that's what I've had in virtually every business since my first gyms. And the thing is that I think most people move on from this part too soon, rather than saying, like, no, we have to make it better until we can get this thing to work for free. Then you move on. And the main reason was we had a better money model. Level 3, check. So you were here for the money models training. We just finished the 3 levels of advertising. Now we begin to talk about money models.